Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of May-June 2015. So let's move on to question number 1. So here we have to solve this equation. Simplify. So the first thing you realize is that the base are different, so we have to make it become the same by doing the LCM. So here we can just multiply 3 times 2, and then we just cross multiply, so 2 times 4x minus 1 plus 3 times 3x plus 5. Now we simplify, so 2 times 4 is 8x minus 2 plus 9x plus 15 over 2 times 3 is 6, so simplify again. So 8 plus 9 will be 17x plus minus 2 plus 15 is plus 13 over 6. So this is your answer for part A. Now for part B, we have this line J and K, and then find the gradient of the line J. So as you know, the gradient is always the we have to use a triangle basically, right? Or you can just find 2 points on this line and then find the gradient that way as well. So what I like to do is I like to find a point. Let's say I find this point, and then I make a triangle with the line itself. So starting here to here and here. So this is the height, 1, 2, 3. That's the height, which is 3. Divide by the base, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. So in that case, it is half. So the gradient is half in the line of J. But if you want to, of course, you can just use 2 points and then find the gradient that way. Now part 2, write down the equation of the line K. So K is a horizontal line at this point, so it will be y equal to 1. Y equal to 1 will be the equation of that line. Now for part 3, draw a line L through 6, 1 such that the area enclosed between J, K, and L is 6. That's the area enclosed. So let's have a look to your graph. So the line goes through 6, 1. 6, 1 is this point here, so that the area enclosed will be equal to 6. So let's see. From what I can think, I will draw this to be a straight line, because let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3. So how can you draw the line so that the area is actually, so let's say area needs to be 6 centimeter. Okay, so how do you find area of triangle usually? So you will do half times base. So the base, you know, it needs to be 6, and times height equal to 6. So what is the height? Height will be, so if you simplify, height needs to be 2. So in that case, for the height of 2, it can only be 1, 2, it can be here. So in that case, the line L will be joining these two. That will be my line L. So I hope that makes sense, because this area, this is the area enclosed. So if you want to find the area of this shape, you will do half. It's a triangle, as you can see. Half times base, which is 6, times height, which is 2, will give you 6. So that is your option for this line L. Okay. Now part 2, we have to find the equation of line L. So we have to find 2 points. So as you can see, we can use this point here, which is this, and we can use the point here. So we have 2 points. So the first point is 7, 0, and 0, 7. Or you can use this one. That's okay too. It's up to you. Now we label this as x1, y1, x2, and y2. So first thing, you have to find the gradient, which is m. which is 7 minus 0 over 0 minus 7. That will be 7 over minus 7, which is minus 1. That's the gradient. Now we found the equation, so take this one. Y minus 0 is y over x minus 7 equal to minus 1. So cross multiply, you will have y equal to minus x plus 7. So this is the equation of the line. Y equal to minus x plus 7. Now for part 5, the line N is perpendicular to the line J at 2, 2. So where is 2, 2? So let's find out. 2, 2 is here. That's the point 2, 2. It is perpendicular. It means that it is at the degree of 90 degrees to this line at this point. So it will be looking like this. It needs to be 90 degrees to this line at this point. So this is your line. It says line N, right? Line N, yeah, correct, line N. So for now, this is what we know. What is the question? It says, find the coordinates of the point where line N crosses the y-axis. So there's a few ways of doing that. One is by drawing the line. And as you can see, by drawing the line, it crosses the y-axis at this point, at 6. But if you want to find to be more sure of your answer, you can find the equation first of line N, and then find this point. So how do you know? So first, it says it is perpendicular. So we can first find the equation of line N. So we have to find we have to use the gradient of line J to find this one. So m of j, from first part we know it is half. So from this we know that gradient of line L, it is minus 2 because it is perpendicular to line J. Now we know this point, we can find equation of line J. So y minus 2 over x minus 2 equal to minus 2. So you cross multiply, that will be y minus 2 equal to minus 2x plus 4, which is minus 2x plus 6. Now at y-axis, x equal to 0. So y will be minus 2 times 0 plus 6 will be 6. So your answer is 6. So find the coordinates of the point where N crosses the y-axis. So the point is actually 0, 6. That's the point where it crosses the y-axis. So that is your answer. Not just 6, but the point is 0, 6. Okay, and that is for question number 1. Now, question number 2, the diagram is a speed time graph of a train's journey between two stations. So here we have a speed time graph. Question part 1, what was the maximum speed of the train? So maximum speed will be here. Let's find this one. This will be here. So here we have 5 units is 10 squares, so 2 is 1. So 1, 2, 27. So the max speed is 27 meters per second. Now for part B, circle the statement that describes the train's motion 350 seconds after it left the station, the first station. So 350 seconds, let's find where is that. 350 is right here. So at this point here, what is the train's motion? Let's find out. It is accelerating. Nope, it is not true because it is a constant gradient. It is decelerating, not true. It is stopped at a station. It is not true. It is constant speed. As you can see, this is a speed time graph. The speed is same, so it is constant speed. Now for part C, calculate the acceleration of the train during the first 150 seconds. So you have to know this. Whenever you have a speed time graph, the acceleration is equal to the gradient of the triangle. So here you can make a triangle out. As you can see, here we have a triangle. Height of triangle is what? This is a 10. This is 11, 12. 12 is height. And the base is 150. So to find the gradient of this triangle, you will do So acceleration is 12 over 150. So you can divide by 3. You will have 4 over 50, and then this will become, so if you want to, you can times 2, that will be 8 over 100, which will be 0.08. That will be the acceleration of that train for the first 150 seconds. Now for part D, what was the speed of the train 20 seconds before it completed its journey? So 20 seconds before it finished its journey. So let's find out. So it finished its journey at what point? At this point, this is what? So this is 580. So 20 before will be 560. So this is 70, 60. So find the speed at this point. So the value here is this. So you have to draw the line to show them that you basically did something to find your answer, so they can give you full marks. So draw the lines to show how you found your answer. So this will be 1, 2, 3. So 3 meters per second was the speed just before it finished its journey. Now part E, how far did the train travel during the first 200 seconds? So when you have a speed time graph, distance travel is always area under graph. So in the first 200 seconds, let's find out. So we have up till here. So let's look at this shape. This shape is a shape of a trapezium. So how do you find area of a trapezium? So you have to look at this side here, it is 200, and this side here is only 50, and the height in between is how much? Is 12. So pretty easy. So basically area under graph is an area of trapezium, which is equal to half times sum of same side of parallel sides, it will be 50 plus 200, and times height in between, which is 12. So if you simplify, that will be 250 times, this is 6. So if you do that one by one, so let's use our calculator. 250 times 6, that will be 1,500. So your answer is 1,500 meters for the distance traveled. Now for part E, calculate the average speed of the train in kilometers per hour during the first this second. So average speed is equal to total distance over total time taken. Distance travel was this much over 200 seconds. This is meters per second. So how would you convert this to so we have to convert this to km, so you have to divide by 1000. So divide by 1000. So divide by 1000 to make it km. And how would you convert seconds to hour? So as we know, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes, which is equal to 3,600 seconds. So now to convert this one, 200 seconds, I have to divide by 3 to make it hours. So same thing here, 200 divided by this to make it become hour. So let's use our calculator, so it's much easier. So 1550 divided by 1000 divided by 200 divided by this. That will be 27 km per hour. That is the average speed of the train for this first 20 seconds. Okay, so now let's move on to question number 3. In a survey, 50 students were asked how long they spent exercising during 1 week. The results are summarized in this table here. So here we have time, the group of times, and the frequency, which is the number of students. In total, we have 50 students. Right. Now, question part 1. Calculate an estimate of the mean time each spent exercising that way. So to find the mean time, as you know, the formula is mean is equal to the sum of fx divided by number of students, which is 50 in this case. So we have to find f. F is given to us as this. What is x? X is the midpoint of those classes. So let's write x here. So let's say x. X is the midpoint. So 0, 30, midpoint is 15. So midpoint here is what? So you have to do 30 plus 60 divided by 2, 45. Midpoint here will be what? So same step, 60 plus 90 divided by 2, 75. So same thing here, 90 plus 120 divided by 2, 105. So same thing here as well, 120 plus 150 divided by 2, that will be 135. And the last one, 150 plus 180 divided by 2, that will be 165. So this is the midpoint of every class. So now, as you can see, the formula, it says fx, so you have to find the value of fx by multiplying with each other. So this is pretty easy. First one, so what is 15 times 45? That will be 675. 11 times 75, that will be 825. 7 times 105 will be 735. 5 times 135, 675, and the last one, that will be 330. So now we have to find the sum. We have to add everything together to see what we have. So 150 plus 675 plus 825, 735 plus 675, and plus 330. That will be 3390. So using that to find the mean, so the mean will be 3390 divided by 50. So divided by 50 will be 67.8 minutes for your estimation of your mean time. 67.8. Now part 2. During that week, the time Simon spent exercising is shown below. So it says that Tuesday from this time until this time until this time. So let's find out the time taken actually. Let's do one by one. Okay, so what is 1:24? 1 p.m. is actually 13 minus 12:37. That will be 1:10, 7. That will be 2, 6, 6, 3, 4. So 47 minutes here he took. And this one is what? So 9:42 minus 8:57. So that will be what? So we don't need to do this. I'm just doing this to know exactly how much time it took, but you don't need to do that. Maybe you do need to, because you have to find the interval, so you know exactly where, but that definitely helps you to find the answer. So that's why I like to do that. So that will be 5 here, and this will be 8, 6, 4. So he took 45, so 47 and 45 minutes. So which interval is his time recorded in? So his time is between 45 and 47. So whereas 45 and 47 is, it will be in between this group. So between 30 and 60. So the time will be between 30 and 60. That's his interval in which his time was recorded. Now for part B, a gym has 4 different types of machines. Carol is going to draw a pie chart to show how many times the machine were used in a day. Okay. She has started to make a table, as you can see here. So for machine, we have running machine, rowing machine, cycling machine, and weights. So frequency, this is 120. So complete the table. So pretty easy. So as you can see here, 90 people means 120 degrees. How about 75? So 75 people, it will mean 120 divided by 90 times 75. So 120 divided by 90 times 75, that will be 100. So this is and then this one will mean 1. So how about 57? So same step, 120 divided by 90 times 57. So 57, that will be 76. And the last one, you have to use this same thing as well. So we know 120 means 90, so 64 will mean 90 divided by 120 times 64. Divided by 120 times 64, that will be 48. Frequency will be 48. So this is part 1, table is done. Now part 2, complete the pie chart. So here we have what? The weight is 64 degrees, so let's label this as 64. And the running is 120, let's label this as 120. So we have 2 done already. So now for rowing is 100, so let's measure the angle for rowing from, let's do from here. So let's read the value for 100 degrees. So this is the center here, and this is on the line. So 100 will be about right here. So let's join these two. Okay, so this angle here is 100, and it is for rowing. And the remaining one is just the remaining, which is 76, which is cycling. Okay, so that is part B of your question. Let's move on to question number 4. We have part A. We have this big circle here, and we have A, B, C, D, E are 5 points on the circumference on the circle. It means that these points are on the circle A, B, C, D, E. Great. Now we have EB is parallel to DC, so this one is in the same direction as this one. Okay. Now the angle EAC is 72, EAC is 72, and angle AEB is 25. So this is 25. X is the intersection of AC and EB. So that's the point X. So what can we do here? Let's see. So since we know this already, since we know this and this, we will know this, right? This is the third angle of a triangle. So the 180 minus 72 minus 25. That will be 83. Right. And now, as you can see, by the laws of, by the theory of circles, this one is on the arc AB. This one is also on the arc AB. So this and this are the same. So this also will be 25. Now, same way, if you observe, angle A is on arc EC, angle B is also on arc EC, so this and this will be the same. So this will be the same as well. Okay, that's the first thing we can deduce from this diagram. And now, given that these two lines are in the same direction, what I like to do is I like to always extend this line a little bit to see if I can find some more information on either side. So extend and see what can we find here. So for now, nothing much. Let's see what can we do. So let's move on to the questions now. So first one, find the angle EBC. So where's EBC? EBC is 72. Okay, first one we know already, 72. Now CXB. So CXB is 83. Okay, we know that already. Find angle EDC. So where's EDC? EDC. So find this angle here. So how would you find this angle? Let's have a look to see what do we have. So if you observe, we have triangle A, not triangle, sorry, a quad A, C, D, E. These two are opposite angles and they're supposed to be complementary. So this angle, so 72 plus angle D is supposed to give you 180. So angle D will be 180 minus 72. That will be 108. So angle D here is 108. So angle D will be 108. Now, what is angle ACD? So ACD. So find this angle now. So how can you find this angle? So let's think, what can we use to find this angle? Right. So what if you extend this line? So these two lines are in the same direction. So this angle here is equal to this angle here, which is 72. And if this is a straight line, this whole angle here will be 180. So this angle will be 180 minus 25 minus 72, which will be 83. So angle C will be 83. So that's the part 4 of the question. 83. Now moving on to part B of the same question. So here we have the angle of a sector of a circle is 40 and the radius is 6. So part 1, the area of the sector is k pi centimeter square. Find the value of k. So how do you find area of sector? We use a formula. So area is equal to angle, which is 40 over 360 times pi r square, which is 6 square. So now you simplify, you will have 40 over 360 times pi times 36. 36 1, that becomes 10, that becomes 4. So your answer is 4 pi centimeter square. So the value of k will be 4. Now for part 2, find an expression in terms of pi for the perimeter of the sector. So let's find the perimeter. So we know this is 6, this is 6. So what is this length? How do you find the length of arc? So arc, we know we have to use the angle 40 over 360 times 2 pi r, which is the radius. Divide by 0, side 10 goes away. Divide by 6, be 1, that will be 6. Divide by 2, that will be 3. So it becomes 4 pi over 3 for the length of arc. So the perimeter will be, you have to add every side. So your perimeter will be radius and plus arc. So that becomes 12 plus 4 pi over 3. That is your perimeter. Okay, so part E. A geometrically similar sector has perimeter this. Find the value of n. So as you can see, we have to compare these two. Since they are similar, they have the same ratio, basically. So let's compare, right? So what can we do here is, we have 12 plus 4 over 3 pi on one side, and we have 72 plus n pi. So how can I make 12 become 72? So see, 72 divided by 12, we have to multiply 12 by 6. So same way, to convert this to n, we have to multiply by 6. So 4 over 3 times 6. So n will be 8. So the value of n will be 8. Okay, that is question number 4. Move on to question number 5. Here we have, in the diagram, we have AB as 8, we have AC as 11, DC as 6.5. So we have these two angles here. So question part 1, calculate the side BC. So let's look at this big triangle. We have A, B, and C. We know this side, we know this side, and we know this big angle. So what is angle A? A is just 26 plus 30. That will be 56 for this big angle here. Now, to find this side BC, we have to use the cosine rule. So cosine of 56 is equal to 8 square plus 11 square, these two sides, minus BC square. Divide by 2 times 8 times 11. Now we have to cross multiply. So what is 2 times 8 times 11? That will be 176. So 176 cos of 56 equal to 64 plus 121 minus BC square. So now we have to make BC square the subject of formula. So we send this over here and we send this over here. So 64 plus 121 minus 176 cos 56. That will be 86.582. So BC will be square root of that. That will be 9.30. So BC will be 9.30. So let's write this down here as well. So 9.30. Now for part B, we have calculate the obtuse angle ADC. So first thing, what is an obtuse angle? So obtuse angle is between 90 and 180. It is less than 180. It is more than 90. That is an obtuse angle. So ADC, where is ADC? So ADC, it is this side here. So as you can see, let's call this alpha for now. We have this side and this angle and this side. So we can use the sine rule. We'll say that sine of alpha over 11 equal to sine of 30 over 6.5. Now we can bring this here to solve this equation. So we have sine of alpha will be 11 sine of 30 over 6.5. So let's do that. 11 sine 30 divided by 6.5. That will be 0.846. 0.846. So now given that sine is positive, you guys should know that when is sine positive? When the value of alpha is here or here. In this case, we're looking for an obtuse angle. So we're looking for this angle which is in here. So first let's find the value of alpha. Alpha will be sine inverse of that. That will be 57.8. But also it can be here. So here is what? This big one will be 180 minus 57.8. So 180 minus 57.8. That will be, 180 minus 57.8. That will be 122.2. So in this case, since we are looking for the obtuse angle, it has to be this one. If we are looking for the acute angle, then it will be this one, but this one will be the answer, which is 122.2. So the next one is find the percentage of the triangle ABC that is shaded. So in the actual question, this is shaded. That's the region that we have as your shaded region. So you have to find the percentage which is shaded. So as always, we have to do this by step by step. First, let's find the area of ABC of the big triangle. We use sine of this angle, which is 56, times 8 and 11, which is the two sides around the so these two sides, 11 and 8. This is the angle. So let's solve. We will have sine of 56 times 8 times 11. That will be 36.47765. Now let's find the area of the region that is shaded. That will be ADC, right? So ADC. So what can we do here? So since we know this side and this side, we can find this angle here. Let's call this angle theta. Theta will be just 180 minus this 2. So as we know, 180 minus 30, and this one is 122.2 as we have here. So 122.2. So this will be 27.8. So let's use this angle to find the area of this triangle. So pretty easy. The same formula, have sine of 27.8 times the two sides, which is 6.5 and 11. So half of sine 27.8 times 6.5 times 11. That will be 16.6732239. So we have to find the percentage that is shaded. We have to do area of ADC over area of ABC times 100 for the percentage. So do that, this divided by 36.47765 times 100. That will be 45.7%. Okay, that is my answer for this part. That has been shaded. Okay, moving on to question number 6. Part A, we have Yuvraj and Sachin travels to England. Yuvraj exchanges 20,500 rupees and received this much. Now we have Sachin exchanged this much into pounds. How many pounds does Sachin receive? So pretty easy. We have to use this information here. So we know that 20,500 became 250 pounds. So now we have to find this one. So 26,650 will become how much? It will be 250 divided by 2,500 times 26,650. Divide by 2,500 times 26,650. That will be 325. So your answer is 325 for the amount of pounds that Sachin receives. Now part B, Dan goes to a bank to exchange some pounds for euros. He has 400 pounds which he wants to exchange. The bank only gives euros in multiples of 5s. Okay. Now the exchange rate is this much. So 1 pound is 1.17 euros. Find the number of euros that he receives from his change of this. And his change, he receives and change from this. So now we have to do in 2 steps. The first step is to find out how much pounds, how much euros that he will be actually receiving, and then find out how much he will be getting from the bank according to this condition. So one by one. We know here that 1 pound is equal to 1.17 euros. So from this, 400 pounds is supposed to give you 1.17 times 400. So let's find out. So 1.17 times 400, that is 468. So that is the amount of euros that he is supposed to get. But now you have to know that what is the multiple of 5 on this one. So the last number, so before this, which is a multiple of 5, will be 465, as you can see. So it means that from this much, he will receive 465 euros and the rest plus. So 3 euros will be remaining. So 468 minus 465, so 3 remains. So convert the euros back to pounds. So pretty easy. So as we know here, this much euros is 1 pound. So this euros will be 1 divided by 1.17 times 3. That will be 2.56 pounds. So the answer here, Dan receives 465. So why we choose 465? Because it is a multiple of 5 euros just before this number. And then the change will be 2.56 pounds. Now part C, Christian buys a fridge and a freezer in sale. So 2 products. The sale offers 15% off everything. She paid a total of this much. So it means that this is the price where she has 15% off. So this means she paid 85%, which is 0.85. So before the sale, the freezer cost this much. What was the cost of the fridge before the sale? So let's do one by one. What was the total before the sale? So we know that after sale, which is 85%, equal to 357. So what is the price at 100%, which is 1? That will be 3.587 divided by 0.85 times 1. That will be 3.357 divided by 0.85. That will be 420. So the cost before the sale will be this much. Now you know that the total cost is actually the cost of the fridge plus the cost of the freezer. Now we know that the total cost is 420, and we know the cost of the freezer is 250. So what is this one? Let's call it x. So find x. That will be 420 minus 250. That will be 170. So the cost of the freezer before the sale is 170. Okay. Let's move on to question number 7. Answer 4 questions in this section, but of course we will do all the questions. That's not a problem. Part 1, we have f of x equal to this function. Find inverse of x. The first step is to let y equal to f of x, which is 2x plus 7 over 3. Then we have to make x the subject of formula. So cross multiply, you will have 3y equal to 2x plus 7. So 2x will be 3y minus 7. So x will be 3y minus 7 divided by 2. So now f inverse, it is in terms of x, so we have to change y to x. It will be 3y minus 7 divided by 2. This will be your answer. Now for part 2, given that f of m equals to this, find the value of m. So pretty easy, we just have to replace the value of x by m. So function f of m is equal to 2m plus 7 over 3 equal to m over 2. So we cross multiply, you will have 4m plus 14 equal to 3m. So we send this over here, you will have 4m minus 3m will be m equal to minus 14. M is minus 14. Now what else? So part B, complete the table for the values of this and hence draw the graph of this. Okay, so we have to find the value of y for the value of x. So if x was equal to minus 1, y will be what? 6 minus 1 is 5, minus 1 is 4. Now 2, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay, that's our table. We have to draw the graph. Okay, so you have to look at these values and plot the points accordingly. Okay, so the first point that we have is minus 3 and minus 6. So minus 3 is here, minus 6 will be here. And then we have minus 2, 0. So minus 2, 0 is here. And then we have minus 1, 4. That will be about here. Then we have 0, 6. 6. Then we have 1, 6. And then we have 2, 4. So 2, 4 will be here. And we have 3, 0. And then we have 4 minus 6. 4 minus 6. Here you can see it's a curve. It will be in this shape, going up and going down. So you just have to know what will be the maximum point. We don't know yet. It will be between these two for the maximum point. So we can try to find this out pretty easily. So let's find out. So this is the equation of the line. So we know that at maximum point dy by dx equal to 0. So what is dy by dx? It is 1 minus 2x equal to 0. So x equal to half. What is the value of y at half? That will be 6 plus half minus 1 over 4. So 6 plus 0.5 minus 0.25. That will be 6.25 will be your maximum point at x equal to half. So just know that we have another point. You can add this if you want to. It should be 6.25 will be 6.225 will be right here. Okay, so now let's join all the points to form the curve. Okay, so we can begin here actually. So try your best to make this as smooth as possible for this curve. Okay, that's the first part. Okay. And then we have this part as well. So let me put it this way. I'm more comfortable drawing in that direction. So this will be here. almost done, and that's it. So that's my curve for this one, and that is question part B1. Now moving on to part 2. So here we have to find what? Use your graph to estimate the maximum value of this. Okay, so usually what you do is you have to go on this graph, and then you have to show that you want to find the maximum value like this. So you draw a line here and see the value. The value will be here. So according to my graph, my maximum value will be 6, 6.2, 6.3 according to my graph. So for me I have 6.3, but we know that the real maximum value is, according to our equation here, will be 6.25. As long as it's not too far from that, you're fine. Now for part 3, by drawing the line this, find the appropriate solution to this equation. So you have to draw this line and find where it cuts the graph. So how do you draw this line? So first you would say, let x equal to 0, y will be 4. Let y equal to 0, x will be 4. So we have 2 points, which is 4, 0, and 0, 4. So let's draw this graph. So first point is there, 4, 0, and 0, 4. And let's see where they cut the curve, where this line cut the curve. So they cut the curve at this point here, and this point here. Okay, so the first point here is minus 0.7, and this point here will be what? This is 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.75. Okay, so for my intersection, I have these two values, which is 0.70 and then 2.75. Your values may be around this, a bit more or less. They should be around this value. Now for part 4, find the equation. So the equation of this has solution of 3.5. By drawing a suitable line on the grid, find the other solution, label your line as L. So it says that we have the graph. So the graph is what? So this is y, this is our usual y, which is 6 plus x minus this. So by solving this equation here, by having another line we don't know the equation of, so y is something else for a different line, it became this. It became x minus x squared equal to k. So what we can do is we can replace this one in this and see what do we have. So in this case we have what? So replace this one. This will become x minus x squared is equal to y minus 6. Now bring this one over here, you will have y minus 6 equal to k. So y become k plus 6. That's the equation of the line that we will have. Now the point is it has a solution of this, x equal to 3.5. So let's do that. So where is x equal to 3.5? It will be 3.5 is here. So by drawing that on this here, it's 3.5, so it means that it cuts the curve at this point. This is what it means. And then what else can we do here? So we know that according to this equation, solution, so label your line as there. So that's okay. We need to find the solution as well, and then draw the line labeled by L. So we have to draw two lines. So one line is this, where the solution, so this is the first point of intersection, where the solution is this. So as you can see here pretty clearly that it will be a straight line. It cannot be, because we don't have actual value. It has to be a straight line, which is a horizontal line, because there's no x, there's no bracket x anywhere. It has to be a straight line. In that case, if it cuts this here, it means that the other solutions will be on the straight line. So let's do that. So this will be the equation of line L, and this will be the value here, the other solution, which will be what? Minus 2.6. So the other solution will be minus 2.60. So according to this equation here, you get y equal to k plus 6. So basically k plus 6 has no x in their powers. So in that case, it cannot be, there's no gradient, it can only be a horizontal line. So if we have one solution here, it means that the other solution will be right to the west of this one, so it has to be on the same line. That's your line L. And question number 8, we have two poles A and B are 15 km apart, and B is due south of A. So B is due south of A, and these two are 15 km apart. Now we have a boat sails from A on a bearing of 141 in this direction. Now state the bearing of A from the boat. So from the boat is right here in this direction. So let's find the boat. Let's find the bearing. So the boat will be here. The bearing of A from the boat, it will be this angle here. This and this. This is 180, and this is same as 141. So the bearing will be 180 plus 141. That will be 321, sorry. That will be the bearing of A from the boat. Now part B, calculate the shortest distance between the boat and B. So the shortest distance will always have to be the perpendicular distance. So it will be about this one, about here, I guess. It will be about this distance. It has to be 90 here. So we have to find this, let's call this distance x. How do you find x? So first we can find this angle here. This is 180, so this is what? This is 180 minus 141. That will be 39. So what can we use to find that? We have to use SOHCAHTOA because we have a right angle triangle. So SOHCAHTOA. So we know this side, this is your hypotenuse, and we are trying to find this one, which is our opposite side. So we have to use sine. So sine of the angle 39 is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse. So x over 15. So from this we have x equal to 15 sine 39. That will be 9.44. That will be your answer for this one. Now for part C, when the boat is due east of B, calculate its distance from A. So it's saying that when the boat is due east of B, so when the boat is exactly to the right of A, this is what it means. So basically the boat is in this position here. That's the boat. Find its distance from A. So find this distance. Let's call this distance y. We know that this is 90, and we have this angle here. We know this side, so we have to find this. So again, we have to use SOHCAHTOA because it is a right angle triangle. So here we are looking for the hypotenuse. So looking for the hypotenuse, and we know the side, which is this side, which is our adjacent side, because we know this angle and this is right angle. So we have to use cos. So cos of same angle 39 is equal to the adjacent side, which is 15 over hypotenuse. So y will be 15 over cos of 39. So let's do that. 15 divided by cos of 39. That will be 19.3. So that will be a distance of the boat from A at that time. That will be 8. Now for part D, it says the scale drawing drawn on a scale of 1 centimeter to 2 km shows A, B, and a third port C. Okay, that's a scale which is 1 cm to 2 km. That's our scale. Now it says part 1, when the boat has traveled 24 km, so on the map it will be using the scale of 1 cm to 2 km. So on the map it will be actually divided by 2, that will be 12 centimeters. It stops at a point X. Mark and label the point X. Okay, so we know the boat has traveled from A. As you can see here, the boat traveled from A at a bearing of 141. So I assume that it will be in the direction of C, but let's find out. I'm not too sure. So from A, at the bearing of 141, it should be about that's the bearing of 141, and it will travel a distance of 12 centimeters. So let's do that. Just measure 12. It will be about 12 will be here. Sorry, I have to touch this point. So 12 centimeters from the point A and the bearing of 141 according to the first part of the question, right? So that is 12 centimeters, which is 24 km according to the scale. This is your point X. Now part 2, a second boat is located. It is less than 12 km from A. Okay, 12 km, it will be 6 cm on the map from A, and it is nearer to BC than to AC. So as you can see here, we have B and A. So what we can do first, we can connect the points. Well, let's connect A, B, and C. That's B to C, and that's A to C. Okay, so we have A, B, C as a triangle, and this is our point X. Now the first condition is it is less than 12 km from A, which is 6 centimeters according to the scale from A. So let's do that. We just have to measure the distance of 6 and draw an arc of the circle inside the region. 6 will be about this point. So you go to your point A and draw 6 about here. Should be fine. That's the first condition. And then we have, it is nearer to BC than to BA. We have B in common. It means that we have to find the bisector of angle B. So how do we draw this? Pretty easy. We have to go to your point B, make an arc on the line AB, line BC and AB, both line. So you see these 2 points of intersection. Now with the same distance, go on these 2 points and then make an arc inside of the triangle. Go on this one, intersect the first one. So here you will have 1 point of intersection and the other one is here. So connect these two to form the bisector of the angle B. So that will be the other part. Okay, so we have 1, 2 gone. Now shade the region in which the second board must lie. So second board is less than 12 from A. It will be inside this arc from A. And then it needs to be nearer to BC than to BA. So BC is on this side from, so this is the line that separates A and C. It needs to be on this side. So basically inside the circle, but on the right side of this line. So it will have to be this region. Right, this is the region that the board will be found. Now for part 3, it says the point Y is the position of a second boat when it is as far as possible from X. Okay. Now mark and label Y on the diagram and hence find the maximum possible distance between the two boats. So this is my point X, and Y will be in this region. That's the boat Y, and it has to be at the maximum possible distance from X. So in that region we have to find the extremities. So Y can be here or it can be here. According to this drawing, Y should be in this position. It's the extremities, and this is the furthest distance from X. So now we have to measure the find the maximum possible distance. So measure this one. According to the map, the distance is 9.3. So we have to use this scale. So 9.3 centimeters is actually times 2. That will be 18.6 km. So the maximum possible distance will be 18.6 km for this one. And that is question number 8. Okay, question number 9, factorize completely. So here we have 4x cubed minus 10xy. So x is common, and we have 2 is common, so 2x squared minus 5y remains. This is your answer. Now for this one, 9 can be written as 3 squared, so it will be 3a squared minus b squared. That will be 3a plus b, and 3a minus b. Now for this one, part B, solve. Solve means find the value of m, so we cross multiply. 7b becomes 12 minus 8m. 8m will be 12 minus 7, so 8m is what? Is 5. M will be 5 divided by 8. Now for part C, a right angle triangle has a base which is 7 centimeters longer than its height, so the base will be 7 plus h. The hypotenuse of the triangle is 23. Now find this equation. So we have just to use the Pythagoras theorem, which tells you that 7 plus h square plus h square this side equal to 23 square. Expand this one, become 49 plus 14h plus h square plus h square equal to, so 23 square, that will be 529. So simplify, that will be 2h square plus 14h, and then plus minus, so 49 minus will be minus 480. So since every number is even, we can divide everywhere by 2. You will have h square plus 7h minus 240. So this is the same as this one, so you write shown as required. So now part 2, write down an expression in h for the area of the triangle. So as you know, area is half times base, which is h plus 7, times height, which is h. That will be h squared plus 7h by 2. Right, that's for the area. Now for part 3, hence state the exact area of the triangle. So how would you find the exact area of the triangle? So let's see, how can we do that? We have to use the two equations that we have from part 1 and part 2 to find the area. So in part 1, we have this equation. Let me write this down here. So part 1, we have this equation which says h squared plus 7h minus 240 equal to 0. That's the first equation from part 1. And part 2, this is the area equal to this. So area equal to h2 plus 7h over 2. So now you realize that this one is the same as this one. So we can solve this simultaneously. So replace this one here. So this one becomes 240. So let's make this subject of formula. So we know that h2 plus 7h is equal to 240 in this first equation. Replace this one in this one, you will have a equal to 240 divided by 2, that will be 120. So that's the exact area of the triangle, 120. Now for part 4, solve this equation, giving you answer correct to 1 dp. So A will be 1, B is 7, C is minus 240. So H will be equal to minus B, which is minus 7, plus minus B square. So it's 7 square, my bad, minus 4 times A times C, divided by 2A, which is 2. So let's simplify. 7 square minus 4 times A times C, that will be 1000. So minus 7 plus minus 1009, 2. So for the first value, we take the plus value, that will be minus 7 plus square root of 1009 divided by 2. So H can be 12.38, or it can be minus value, so minus 7 minus square root of 1009 divided by 2, minus 19.38. So the answer needs to be correct to 1 dp, so it can be minus 19.4 or it can be 12.4. That's your answer for part 4. Now for part this one, find the perimeter of the triangle. So we can only take value as positive, which is 12.4, because it cannot be, the height cannot be negative here, that's why. So to find the perimeter, we have to do H plus this one and plus this. So H plus 7 plus H and plus 23. That will be 2H plus 30. Okay. So use this here. So P equal to 2H, 12.4 plus 30. So 2 times 12.4 plus 30, that will be 54.8 centimeter. Okay, that is question number 9. So question number 10, we have two triangles, A and B, as we can see on this graph. And then it says, describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So pretty interesting here. So what do you think will map A onto B? It is for 2 marks. So the size remain the same. The only thing changed is the direction. So the direction of this thing changed. So as you can see, change direction, right? So it has to be, from what I can see, it has to be anti-clockwise. But the other question is, where will be the center of rotation? So we have to find the center of rotation of this transformation. So one trick I like to use is, I like to use bisectors. So let me connect these two, because they are the corresponding point. This became this, and this one became this one, right? So by drawing the bisectors of those two lines, I can find the center of rotation. So I go to this first one, draw an arc up, and this one here as well, and then go to this side with the same length, cut the first one and the second one. So now I have these 2 points that joins. I have to join them together to form the first bisector. So that's the first one. And then I have to go to this one here for this line, draw another bisector of that line. So same thing here, measure a length which is more than halfway, draw one up and down, and then go to this side, cross the other one. Okay, so here we have 2 points. We have 1 point here and 1 point here. So if you connect these two, you will have your center of rotation. As you can see, the center of rotation will be the point here, which is 1, 1. So pretty easy. As you can see, the angle of rotation will also be how much? It will be anti-clockwise. So this become this. If you measure this, that should be 90. So pretty easy. You will just say it is a rotation, anti-clockwise. You can say 90 degrees anti-clockwise about the point 1, 1. Okay, that is part 1. Now part 2, triangle B is mapped onto triangle C by a translation of -2, -3. So pretty easy. B going to C will be -2, -3. So -2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And this one, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that will be your triangle C. So label this as your triangle C. Now for the next one is part 3. The triangle A is mapped onto triangle D by reflection in this line. Find the triangle D. So let's first draw this line. Y is equal to X will be this line. So triangle A mapped on this line will be a reflection. So this will become here, and this will become here, and this one will become, so it has to be 3 squares, so 3 will be right here. So 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, right. So drawing these 3 points together to form the triangle D. That's triangle D. Now what else? So part 4, triangle E is geometrically similar to triangle A and its longest side is 12 centimeters. Calculate the area of triangle E. So we have to use this information to find. So what is the longest side of A? Let's find out. The longest side of A here is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Longest side of A is 3 centimeters. But what is the area of A? So do you know the area of A? A will be half times base times height. This is our perpendicular height. So area of A will be half times the base, which is 3, times height, which is 1. That will be 3 over 2, which is 1.5 basically, 1.5 centimeters square. So using that, we can find the triangle of E. So A to E, the side is 3 to 12. What is the ratio? Divide by 3 everywhere. It is 1 to 4. That's the ratio of their sides. How about the ratio of area? We have to square both sides for the area. That'll be 1 to 16. So basically the area of A, we have just found out it is 1.5. But the area of E will be 16 times more than area of A. So 16 times 1.5, that will be 24. So 24 will be the area of triangle E. That was part 1. Now on to part B. State the number of lines of symmetry of this octagon. So by observation, you will find only 2. One is this line and one is this line. So only 2 by observation. Now for part C, we have the cross-section of a prism is an equilateral triangle. So the triangle has all the 3 sides the same. So this is the same, this is the same, and this is the same. And that will be a prism, which is sort of like this, right? Almost. Okay. Now state the number of planes of symmetry the prism must have. So the first one is pretty obvious. It has to have one line here, one line here, and one line here for the plane of symmetry, because this one is a this triangle, right? So we have 3, 4 now, and then the other one is kind of tricky. If you flip this one up, you will see you have a shape like this. You'll have a shape which looks like this, right? Sort of like this. Now the other line of symmetry will be right in between them. So a plane which is right in between them will be the other plane of symmetry. So in total we have 3 plus 1, which is 4. Now for part D, name the two special quad that have exactly 2 lines of symmetry and also rotational symmetry of order 2. The first one is pretty obvious. It's a rectangle. So it has 1 line here and 2 line here, and this is 180 for the rotational symmetry. So this is the first one, rectangle. And now by elimination, I found that the other one will be a rhombus, which is of this. It has 1 line here and 1 here is symmetry as well. So I need to draw this better. So the rhombus actually has all the 4 sides the same, and they have these 2 lines of symmetry, flipped here and flipped this way and this way. And then it has a rotational symmetry of order 2, so you can only rotate this way and this way by 180 for it to be the same. So by elimination, you have 2 answers, which is a rectangle and a rhombus. Okay, and that is for this last part of this question. To question number 11, here we have some people who ask which continent they visited in the last holiday. And here we have the number of people who went to this continent. So how many people we have in total? So 7 plus 15 plus 8. So we have 30 people in total. Now question part 1, find the chance that one of these people, chosen at random, visited North America. So North is 7, so 7 over 30. Now for part 2, find the chance that one of these people did not go to Asia. So did not go to Asia will be this 2, 7 plus 15 will be 22 over 30, will be 11 over 15. So that is your answer for part 2. Now for part 3, 2 of these people are chosen at random. Now it says the tree diagram opposite shows the possible outcomes and some of their chances. Complete the tree diagram. So here we have one person and we have the other person. So for the first one, as you can see, it has to be 7. It is given to us here, 7 over 30. So 7 over 30 went to North America. And now for the other one, if you go to North America, so let's say if you go on this branch, you will have 6 person left going to over 29. Here you have 15 over 29, and here you have 8 over 29. So now if you choose this one, you will have 7 over 29, 14 over 29, and 8 over 29. Now if you choose this line, you will have, this is 7 over 29, 15 over 29, and the last one will be 7 over 29. So this is your tree diagram. So first one is good. Now for part B, what is the chance that 2 people went to the same continent? So we have a few options here. We can go first this one and this one. So North America, North America. So 7 over 30 and 6 over 29. That's one option. Plus we have this one and this one, Europe and Europe. So 15 over 30 and 14 over 29. Or we can go to Asia and Asia. So 8 over 30 times 7 over 29. So I will have 154 over 435. So my answer will be 154 over 435. So just to recap, it will be basically North America and North America, or it can be Europe and Europe, or it can be Asia and Asia. So these 3 options for the chance. Now that was question part A. Now let's move on to part B of the same question. So here we have, the table shows the distribution of the total cost per person for the holidays. Now we have the cost and the frequency. Part 1, draw a histogram. So when you have to draw this, we have to find the frequency density. So the formula for that is what? FD is equal to frequency divided by class width. So let's first find the class width. That will be this minus this. That will be 250. 250. This is 500. this is 1000, and this is 1500. So let's do one by one. F is 35 divided by 250, that will be 0.14. 20 divided by 250, that is 0.08. We have 15 divided by 500, that will be 0.03. 8 divided by 1000, that will be 0.008. And last one is 6 divided by 1500, that will be 0.004. So here we have our values for our histogram. For the first class, 0 to 250 is 0.14. So 0 to 250 will be here, is 0.14. So here is the max value. So let's join this one together and see what we have. Okay, that's our first histogram. Now for this class of 250 to 500, it will be 0.08. So this two, 0.08 will be here. So joining this two. And then what else? So we have 500 to 1000 is 0.03. So 500 to 1000 is 0.03 will be here. Joining these two lines. And then we have 1000 to 2000, 0.008. So 1000 to 2000, 0.008. So this is what? This is 0.01. So 0.008 will be here. And then for the last one will be grouped from 2000 to 3500 will be 0.004. So this one says this will be 0.004 will be here. This and this. Okay, so that is our histogram for this information that we have. So now we have to move on to the questions based on the histograms. So here we have what? Estimate the number of people who spent less than $700 in 2014. So less than $700 will be what? So here we have, this is the total costs per person for holidays. Okay, so this is the cost groups. So number of people who spend less than 700. So we have this one, 35, this, and we have here a fraction of. So this distance here is 500. So this two, 700 is just about here, which is. So how do you move from 500 to 7? You have to move by 200. So 200 over the range, which is 500, times 15. That will be how many? So 200 divided by 500 times 15. That will be 6%. So your estimation will be 6 plus 20 plus 35. Plus 20 plus 35, that will be 61% spend less than $700. Now for part 3, it says, of the people who spend less than $250 on the holiday, 2/7 did not go on a holiday. How many people did not go on a holiday in 2014? So of the people who spend less than this, so how many people spend less than this? According to the table, spend less than 250 is 35 people. So 35 people, and 2/7 of 35 people is what? 1, 5 is 10 people did not go on holiday. So number of people is 10 who did not go on holiday. Okay, so that was question 11. That was the last question of this paper. I hope that was somewhat helpful. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.